Welcome back to SkywayTj, and today we're going to be reviewing Greta, which stars Chloe Grace Moretz. So, if you guys are new here, this is part of my 2019 review series. I'm reviewing every movie that I see in 2019 that is released in theaters. If you like what you see, please drop a like, subscribe for more. It really, really, really helps me more than you'll ever know. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into Greta. This movie is hands down my favorite movie I've seen in 2019 so far. It is amazing. Spoiler alert, it's great. So basically, Chloe Grace Moretz plays a character named Frankie, who is, her mom just recently passed away, so she moved to New York with her best friend to try to escape that and just get a new life. She's trying to make it, big in the big city. And she finds a purse on the subway, and she returns it to its owner, and that owner is Greta, the title character. And Greta is a lonely old woman who is missing her daughter, and so her and Frankie eventually start this weird, not a relationship, but they're like, Frankie needs a mom, Greta needs a daughter, so they start connecting immediately, so they're kind of like surrogates. One night when Frankie is over at the house, she opens a cupboard and notices that there's like 1,000 purses there, and that Greta is doing this to lure people to her house because she's that lonely. And once Frankie finds this out, she freaks out, she runs away, and then Greta is starting to feel unappreciated and doesn't enjoy the fact that Frankie basically pushed her out of her life for no reason. And that's when this movie starts getting insane. Greta starts stalking Frankie. She shows up at her apartment all the time. She shows up where she works. She causes scenes, and the police can't really do anything for some reason. And it just keeps getting more and more and more and more uncomfortable, to the fact that this old woman is stalking a young girl. Eventually Frankie finds out that Greta's daughter didn't just move to Paris like she said. She actually committed suicide because Greta was so overwhelming and horrible to her. And that's when Frankie starts to get more and more worried, and eventually she lies to Greta and says, hey, I'm just gonna go on vacation for a bit, I'm sorry for everything that happened, yada yada yada. She lies just so she can get Greta fully off her back for a little bit and try to figure out what to do next. But then as Frankie's in her apartment, she starts to drink tea and she realizes that Greta's in the house with her and that she's been roofied. And then Greta kidnaps Frankie and takes her to her house, locks her in a confined room behind the piano that you can't really see, and is planning on keeping her there forever as her daughter. When Greta gets upset with Frankie, she locks her in this box if she makes too much, and then eventually she starts making too much noise, and she gags her and straps her to a bed so she can't really do anything. And then Frankie realizes there was another girl before her named Samantha, I think, and that her student ID is in this room and everything. There's one time Frankie tries to escape. They're baking cookies, and Greta has her finger over one of those things that you make shapes into cookies. Frankie slams that down on her fingers and cuts her damn finger off and hits her in the head with a rolling pin. She tries to escape. She only makes it to the basement. She finds the body of the other girl that was the victim before Frankie. It gets wild. Eventually, Frankie's dad and her roommate figure out they've been duped, and the policeman goes to Greta's house, and at first Greta's just trying to play the part, get him to go away, and then the policeman hears Frankie in the room making a bunch of noise, trying to warn him and trying to get out, and then Greta kills the policeman. So then Greta realizes that all good things must come to an end. She's fully planning on just letting Frankie die or whatever. And then she goes to put more purses on the subway when Erica, which is Frankie's roommate, she's trying to find her friend desperately, so she goes on the subways hoping to find one of the purses, and she finds one. She wears a disguise. She goes to Greta's place, posing as this next lonely girl, whatever. Erica roofies Greta, so then Greta is incapacitated. Erica finds Frankie. They get her out, and then they lock Greta up in the room, and then the movie ends with them calling the police, and then they lock her in the box in the room, and then you notice that the box is moving around and everything, and then it just kind of cuts to black. I don't know if they're trying to like get sequels or anything, but like whatever, it's fine. That's how the movie ends. I loved this fucking movie. It was so goddamn good. Suspenseful the whole way. There was great performances by everyone. It is definitely the best movie that's come out this year. It's so good, and it's right up my alley. It's not a horror movie exactly, but there are definitely horror elements. It's more suspenseful thriller, but it's just so good, and I highly recommend it to anyone who would like this type of movie. It's so fucking good, and I loved it. So yeah, that's been the review of Greta. If you like what you saw, please drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. Again, I'll be filming a video for every movie I see in 2019. If you like what you saw, you know, come back for more. This Friday, I have a review coming out for Cold Pursuit, and then there'll be more videos next week. I'm not 100% what they're going to be yet, but there will be new videos next week. There always will be. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please come back and see me. Alright, guys. See ya.